Hello, my name is Rebecca Brenner, and I did my formal report on autism spectrum disorder. And I chose this topic because I had heard a advertisement or someone talking about it on the radio, and I didn't exactly know what autism was. So, of course, I decided to do my formal report on autism spectrum disorder to get more information. So, autism spectrum disorder is a group of developmental disabilities that can cause significant behavioral, social, and communication challenges. So, within my report, I discussed what exactly autism is, who is affected by autism, the signs and the symptoms, and how one is diagnosed with autism. And I also discussed the different treatments and charities and organizations that help with people who have autism or help with family members that can cope easier with a child that has autism. So, autism is a physical condition affecting the brain's normal development of social and communication skills. It appears within the first 3 years of a child's life, and it also affects different people in different ways, but usually the signs and the symptoms are the same. And there's three different types, and they range from very mild to very severe. And the three types are autistic disorder, Asperger's syndrome, and pervasive developmental disorder, which is not otherwise specified. And the very severe one is autistic disorder, which when people think of autism, they think of autistic disorder. And autistic disorder is the child will have significant language delays, social and communication challenges, unusual behavior, and interests, and they usually have intellectual disabilities. So for the Asperger's syndrome, it's not as severe as autistic disorder, but there's still some of the similar signs that come with Asperger's syndrome, which usually is the communication and social challenges and the unusual behaviors and interests, but they usually don't have intellectual disabilities or language delays, so that's why it's very mild compared to autistic disorder. And then the pervasive developmental disorder is one that has both autistic disorder and Asperger's syndrome, so it's not otherwise specified as either one. And it usually only has kids that have social and communication challenges. It doesn't come with the intellectual disabilities or the language delays or the unusual behaviors and interests. So it's very mild and there's fewer cases of it. So the children that are affected it can occur in all races, ethnicities, genders, socioeconomic groups. So everyone can be affected by it. It just depends how severe it really is. And it's usually said that there's 5 times more likely for a male to be affected than a female, which they don't really have a clear reason as to why more males are affected. And it's usually estimated that 1 in 88 children are affected by ASD, which is autism spectrum disorder, and it's the fastest growing serious developmental disability in the United States compared to AIDS, diabetes, and cancer. So anyone can be affected. It just depends how severe and how the signs really are. So talking about the signs and the symptoms, it's said that you'll usually see changes in a child within 18 months, and that that parents should seek help by the time the child is 2. Sometimes it can improve over a child's life. Sometimes it gets worse. It just depends. And when a child does have autism, parents should look for obsessive interests, that they don't respond to their name, they don't have any babbling or spoken words by the time they're 16 months. They have very poor eye contact, they repeat words and phrases, and those are just the early signs. The ones that appear later are the impaired ability to make friends, obscene pretend play, so very weird play, impaired ability to communicate with others, and repetitive and unusual use of language. there's more signs and symptoms that can occur, but these are the ones that parents should look for. Um, so there are treatments, but they're very they don't. There's not a cause. They don't. Doctors don't know why autism actually happens. So it's very um, there's not very much treatment for it except therapies, behavioral interventions. And at the therapies, they improve on the social and language skills. And with therapies, it also helps parents cope with a child having autism. Doctors may prescribe medication, but it's usually for a person that has anxiety, depression, or obsessive compulsive disorder, because that's what usually comes with having autism. Um, there's also different charities and organizations that help with providing treatment, and they promote the wellness of the people with ASD, and they also promote funding to help find these treatments. And some of them are Autism Speaks, National Autism Association, Autism Society of America, and Generation Rescue. There's so many more out there, but these are the ones that I found that really interest me. Um, so, having more knowledge of what autism is, I feel like I can understand people more who have autism, and maybe I can help in a way with donating to these charities or helping someone with autism, like help them cope with it easier. So that is it. Thank you.